I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul, I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood formed this soil, this air, born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same, and I now, 37 years old, in perfect health begin, hoping to cease, not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, sufficed at what they are, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad, I permit to speak at every hazard, nature without check, with original energy. Well, that felt good. So here's the first stanza from Leaves of Grass. And I kind of wanted to just talk about this a little bit and talk about Whitman in general. And I'm going to, so you can kind of work through the assignment that I'm going to give you with this. One of the things I want you to notice is, one, this comes from a very romantic tradition, that one that that values the individual, that values intuition, and that actually values a connection between our own selves and nature. You'll notice a lot of kind of organic imagery in here, or natural imagery, like the spear of summer grass formed from this soil, this air. So you get that real romantic feel. Now, the thing about the Transcendentalists and Whitman is they have a very strong, I don't think a belief, but really just value the idea of that human intuition, that human autonomy, that human individuality are really the keys to kind of living a life. But he's also kind of wrapping it up in this sort of American idea or American identity of self-reliance, of rely upon oneself, that you can make your life whatever you want it to be. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I just kind of wanted to read this first one. I could read the whole damn thing to you, and I'd be really happy about that, but I'm not going to bore you with that. So it's also a lot about an identity. Whitman says that our identity is this kind of thing we shape for ourselves. Identity is how we define our own relationships with others and how we define our own relationships with the world. And for him, again, it's this very organic kind of a relationship. One of the things you'll notice too is, and I'm going to kind of go look at this section here, it harkens a lot back to that little section we read about Emerson. Let me pull that up for a second. And I think you can really see how Emerson influences Whitman. When Whitman first wrote Leaves of Grass, he sent copies of it to Emerson to try to get his approval. And I'm going to have you watch a video about Whitman, and that kind of gets into that. But just to kind of remind you what I'm talking about, if this thing ever opens up. Bet you're glad to see me, aren't you? Get this thing, there we go. All right, so isn't this Zoom fantastic the way we can do this? That is not what I wanted. Well, we got some time here. Hope everybody's safe, doing all right, not breathing on each other, washing your hands a lot. Okay, here we go. So he talks about, this is Emerson, remember, it talks about the kind of the same ideas, okay? And I'll read one more stanza of this, and he really talks about these ideas of, you know, that we shouldn't live in the past, and we shouldn't derive our values from the past, and what we should do, and what our aspirations are to the past. We should be more in the present, looking to the future, kind of making our own history, kind of making our own, you know, if you will, kind of even religion, or or how we relate to the whole universe and the world. Okay, so but so if you kind of read this, you'll see a lot of that, these kind of ideas coming through in the stuff that I'm going to have you read about Whitman. You can also see, let me go back here. All right, where to go? There we go. Okay, so these creeds and schools of advance relating back, this talks about that idea about, you know, we shouldn't be in the past. I'm going to hold what I've learned in abeyance, hold it off, and look forward and kind of, you know, kind of live my life with this kind of original energy, like he says here. You'll also notice that we read that poem Thanatopsis, and you kind of get that kind of feeling in here when he says, uh, you know, that for every atom belonging to me is good belongs to you. In William Cullen Bryant says kind of the same thing in Thanatopsis. Uh, my tongue, every atom of my blood formed from this soil, this air. It kind of has those same kind of ideas. So I just wanted to kind of share this with you to kind of give you a sense of what's going on with Whitman. And I think if you watch the video, you'll be able to kind of fulfill. I'm going to post I'm posting a discussion board assignment. It's going to be a little more extensive than most. It'll probably be worth, I would say, just to kind of get our points up there, so I don't have to put up with some nonsense from other people. You know, these might actually be kind of like, you know, 100-point kind of things, but you don't have to write an essay. You just have to give some pretty good responses to the questions that I have. So I thought I'd just share this little video with you, and I'm just kind of pay attention to the sequence of stuff. Your big thing is getting that paper done. So I may do some more videos, but I'm going to start posting stuff. And let's kind of see if we can get through this semester in one piece. And I hope everybody's doing well out there. Always feel free to contact me. I'm going to post a phone number that you can call me at, because you won't be able to call me at my office number. So if you have any questions, I'm also really willing to help any of you with registration or anything like that, and we can do that via phone. So hang in there. Let's get through this, and everybody stay safe and healthy.